Okay, the first card is going to be Eight of Cups. I have a Seven of Swords. I have an Eight of Wands, so you have two eights. This is a Two of Swords. I have a Nine of Cups. Three of Swords. So lots of swords here. A little bit of anxiety, indecision. I have a Page of Cups. I have Nine of Swords. And this is a Four of Cups. Very interesting. Except for Wands. You have an Eight of Wands here. Everything else is it's either cups or swords. You have Eight of Cups, Nine of Cups, Page of Cups, and Four of Cups. And then Taurus, you have Seven of Swords, Two of Swords, Three of Swords, Nine of Swords. And so this battle between cups, which are related to water or related to feelings. And then you have the swords, which is the psychological, are the way we perceive reality, our thinking faculties, the way we judge and the way we perceive reality. So what I'm feeling here, this little conflict, because I do see it as a conflict between the swords and the water. For you, Taurus, it feels as if it's a struggle between your head and your heart. And once again, I've always felt, Taurus, in the last few months when I read your cards, that there was this sense of someone you've had a long relationship with, and you've always just been in between sticking with them, seeing it through, or walking away. So that it's almost torture, because I can identify with that situation, being with someone that you kind of feel isn't really good for you, but emotionally you feel irrevocably attached to them. And so very interesting. You also have these eights, and you have these nines, and you have 2, 3, 4, and a page, but there are no major arcana cards here. No sweeping changes in this situation as far as the bigger picture. Doesn't mean that that things are still not developing in the future, but it's telling me, the lack of major arcana is telling me that what you're going through now, Taurus, comes down simply to you and the decisions that you make. So no major arcana, but I want to address what's in the center here as well. You've got this Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is about generosity and spending time with family, and it's an emotional generosity. And it's also it's the number 9, which is the end of a cycle. 10 is when you start over again, you do the reset, and then you begin with the ace. So we're looking at achieving maximum happiness, true happiness with our loved ones, and being in an emotionally secure relationship. That's what I think of when I see that Nine of Cups, Taurus, that all you want is an emotionally secure relationship. You want to be able to trust. And so, yeah, this Nine of Cups, in the future, it evolves into a Nine of Swords, which is just more worry. And yeah, I just feel this push and pull with a particular person. And of course, this doesn't mean that it you know, I know some of you are married, some of you are in long-term partnerships, some of you are casually dating. And so in general, to address all you thousands of Tauruses as far as your relationship, the general ebb and flow or energy of your romantic situation that I'm seeing is this push-pull between healing and getting ready to trust and give your heart again. That's the main theme that I'm feeling out here. So Looking at this first row, yes, lots of pain and heartbreak. I see a separation here. You have that Eight of Cups, which of course is that card of letting go, doing what's best for you emotionally. And she's following the moon. The moon, of course, represents our subconscious, and this is in the darkness. These are the things that are just kind of in the background as far as our psychology and our mental state. So I keep feeling that message. I need to walk away. I need to leave. And we have this walking away from the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is about secrets. It can be about you not necessarily cheating and lying on part of the other person, but sometimes the Seven of Swords is a good energy because it's about keeping secrets, keeping things to yourself in order to follow through on your plans, not divulging everything to everyone. But I do get a sense of secrets and emotional detachment. And once again, not necessarily cheating or lying, but a lack of trust, a lack of security here. So yeah, this Eight of Cups and Seven of Swords are kind of telling me a very important story here. And then you have that Eight of Wands. Someone's traveling, someone's leaving. Now 8 is the number of change. So the past influences, what I see going on here with these cards is a transition for you. Not just getting to a better place emotionally, but it's quite possible some of you Tauruses were traveling and moving physically, maybe a new job or a new home. For some of you, this is a long distance relationship, and maybe you haven't heard from someone in quite a while. Because what's happening here in this next row kind of tells me what might be going on here with this one wand. And so, yes, this long distance, this surprise, hearing from someone from out of the blue. And then you come here with the Two of Swords, indecision, Three of Swords, heartbreak and healing, Nine of Cups. Once again, that familiar emotional bond that you feel with this person that you're in this tug of war with. So when we get here to the future, Taurus, sort of like a little warning because you have another 9 here. But this Page of Cups is about the qualities of a child, having hope and opening your heart again to that person. The question that comes to me is, should I give this person a second chance? What will happen? You know, especially after all of this pain and disappointment with the Seven of Swords and the Three of Swords. Well, this Nine of Swords, it's telling me still a lot of worry, still a lot of anxiety around this partner. This Four of Cups, when we look at this Four of Cups, we have someone, and it almost feels as if this other person is the one who's leaving, who's emotionally up and down, because once again, you get this child who's pouting and unhappy. And even though the mermaid is trying to give him a cup and make him happy, he's still not happy. And so the question you need to consider, Taurus, especially since I don't see any pentacles here, none at all, which is pretty strange to me. But this happened with Aries as well. I was thinking I was going to see a lot of wands. I didn't see a lot. You know, it could be sort of like a down cycle, especially since we just got out and away from Mercury retrograde. But Taurus, I see the swords with you dealing with all the worry and pain. And then I see this other person who comes to you for emotional security and seemingly just can't stay away from you, even though it's not always in your best interest. And so the question is, Taurus, do you feel like you want to go through this wishy-washiness emotionally with this person? So I'm pulling the outcome card. I'm going to cut. Okay, so The outcome card is a Two of Pentacles. So now we get some earth here. And it seems to be corresponding to this Two of Swords here, because two is duality. Sometimes it can mean two things in balance, like the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands. But with the Two of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, there's this division. The Two of Swords can obviously mean a disconnect. It can be a disconnect between your head and your heart. You know, just indecision, standing still, not sure of what move you want to make. And then this Two of Pentacles, it's about juggling two relationships, juggling two jobs. I feel that you, in particular, Taurus, considering this is an earth sign, I feel like some of you are going to make the decision where I don't want things to get too serious. I'm going to protect my heart this time. I'm going to just fall back. I just get a sense where I feel some of you Tauruses are just going to detach, and you see this young boy, his back is turned towards the water. It doesn't mean also, another interpretation is that for some of you, your love interest or partner is going to be very busy and distracted. You know, they're going to be more focused on this. You see the infinity sign here. The boy is juggling these two coins using metaphysical energy here. But it basically means just being distracted, not being emotionally detached. And I can definitely see that happening for some of you Tauruses, to where, let me know when you make up your mind. Otherwise, just leave me alone. Sometimes you can actually feel that way in a relationship. And it doesn't mean it's permanent, but sometimes, Taurus, I think you put up with a lot of crap, and sometimes you get sick of it. So that was my reading for you for September. I want to thank everyone for your support. Be aware of a special super chat that might be happening this Friday before Labor Day. So thank you guys so much for everything. Good to hear from some of you. And as always, I wish you love and light.